catalog. It's called Christmas Sweaters. And as soon as I saw this, I knew that I had to have it. I do an annual cookie exchange, and actually this year's cookie exchange theme is going to be the ugly Christmas sweater. Although I don't think that these sweaters are very ugly. I think they're rather cute. So let's go ahead and get started on the card. Now, I got new lighting here in my stamp area, and I was planning this card to be a base color of Whisper White. However, when I put the new lighting on after I cut all the cardstock, I realized it's very vanilla. So we're just going to work with that. That's just how things happen, I guess. So we have a standard A2 card, which is, the dimensions of that is 8.5 by 5.5. Scored at 4 1/4 and folded. So that's going to be our base. Our next color we're going to pull in is Cherry Cobbler, and we have a couple scrap pieces of Very Vanilla and a scrap piece of Old Olive. So we're going to go ahead and take this Cherry Cobbler, and of course Christmas sweater card definitely needs to have a cable knit dynamic textures impressions embossing folder. Can you say that with me? Okay, let's just go with the cable knit. So this is one of our new embossing folders. It came out last year in the holiday catalog, and I'm super excited that it decided to return. And it's a dynamic one in that it's very thick comparison to our standard embossing folders. So that being said, we're going to go ahead and bring in our Big Shot. And when we use this with the Big Shot, we don't need to use all these extra layers that we normally do. So we're going to take away this thin die adapter and one of the cutting plates. We're just going to have our platform. We're going to go ahead and get our folder. Now I want to have the cable nets going vertically. So I'm going to put my cardstock in that way. Just kind of align it up. Make sure that it is straight. It's nothing worse than having a crooked sweater. And we're going to go ahead, use our cutting plate, and crank this through. And yes, my Big Shot is a total mess. There has been a lot of crafting happening in this stamp room lately. I'm preparing for 2 more upcoming craft shows. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Oops, sorry. There you are. Look how cool that is. So I have been doing a lot of crafting. Let me take this off to the side in preparation for those upcoming shows. Alright, so let's put that aside. Now this I started with, and I didn't give you the dimensions of this, but this was 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, and a lot of times you'll notice when you run it through your Big Shot with one of these types of embossing folders, it kind of shrinks it a little teeny weeny bit. Okay, so here is our sweater front. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this. I want to find the center of this. So I'm just going to do a little pinch. So there's the center. I'm going to make this into a V-neck. So all I'm basically going to do, and I'm just eyeballing this. I mean, every card I make with this is going to be a little different. And look how easy that is. There's our V-neck. Can't get any easier than that. Okay, where is my... Here is my fast fuse, so we'll go ahead and use that. We're going to take this little scrap piece, and this is going to... Oh, my light just went out. Ooh, that's kind of spooky. Let's readjust this one. I think that light bulb is going in that lamp. Let me try it again. Yeah, I think that light bulb is going, but I think we're still good. Okay, so here's a little scrap of Old Olive that we're just going to use behind it, like as though it was another shirt. So I'm going to use my fast fuse. So I say, there we go. Just going to put a little bit of the fast fuse, and it's a double stick tape, and it's very good for sticking onto pieces of cardstock that have like a dimension like this does. So there we go with that. We're going to go ahead and that's going to get layered onto there, but let's bring in the stamp set. So I'm going to stamp the saying, which it only comes with one, deck the halls with Christmas sweaters. So that's fun. Let me grab one of my blocks. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of crafting lately. I have a just a strip, you know, when you cut down your card, you have all of these strips. Well, I sat here last night making Christmas tags and using up all of these strips. I'm trying to go through all of my scraps and use them. Excuse me. Let me try that again. Use up all of my scraps. Let's see how this side works. There we go. Oh, my S didn't show up. Okay, we'll go with plan A, which was the first one. Using up all of my scraps to, you know, to get rid of them and clean them out. So a lot of these strips came in handy with what I was creating these Christmas tags last night, because these little strips were just wide enough to do the little greeting on. All right, I'm stamping with Memento ink. If I gibbered on too much, I'm using Memento ink because I'm going to be coloring in this little sweater, which I'm going to stamp with the Memento ink, and I'm going to stamp it on here and use our new Stampin' blends, which will become available on November 1st, which is just a few short days away. Now, when you're doing something like this, you want to make sure that that dries thoroughly. So we'll set him off aside to dry. I have ones already cut out, and I'm so excited to share with you. I don't usually make large purchases of anything. I usually think about it, I do my research and everything, but I've been seeing so many people talking about all of these die cut machines, and I love my Big Shot, and I would not give my Big Shot up for the world. But I was investigating the Brother Scan and Cut 2, and what you can actually do is, this does not have a die to cut this out, and I did not cut out all of these Christmas sweaters by hand. I actually purchased the machine through Amazon. I got a great deal on it, and I can stamp these images and run them through the scan and cut. It scans it once through, and next time it goes through, you can choose to cut out right on the line, which is what I did with all of these sweaters, or you can choose to leave yourself a little border. I also took some of our designer series paper and I played, and this is the coffee sheet, and I cut out all of these. I mean, it would take me forever to fussy cut all of those out, and it did such a fabulous job. So this is the designer series paper, which, don't forget, we only have a few days left of that sale, which is buy 3, get 1 free, which ends on October 31st, Halloween. I also stamped out some of these Garden Girls, and I cut them out with the scan and cut, and look at how beautiful they did. It did on that, because I want to play with my Stampin' blends, and I didn't want to have to fussy cut all those things. So I already have one of my sweaters already cut out. So that's where I was going with that. That's what I was playing with today, and it really is worth the investment. And there's just so many things you can cut with it. I'm looking at possibly doing some vinyl. That's not working for me. Doing some vinyl. Where is my other glue? See, my desk is a total mess here. Let me just fix this because I can't seem to find my other glue. Doing lots of fun Christmas gifts and things like that. Let me just get this baby rolling a little bit. Sometimes it gets a little gunked up at the end because this glue is so super sticky. All right, let's try this again. Oh, it'll be good if you use the right side, Susan. Okay. All right. So that's what I've been doing. So anyhow, that's where I was going with that, was that when you do want to, oh, I glued my table. When you do want to use our new Stampin' blends, which will be available November 1st. And we also have a card kit that goes with it and a stamp set that will go with it too. I'm going to go ahead and adhere the front of this. When you're using the fast fuse, you want to make sure you give that little check. That breaks the adhesive, and that makes it so that, oh, I have a little bit showing here. That makes it so that it is not going to get clogged up like it did right before when I was trying to use it. So anyhow, we have a lot going on with Stampin' Up, but I do want to tell you the Stampin' Blends, which here they are here, are our alcohol-based markers. They will be available for purchase on November 1st. My recommendation to you would be to get on the horn right then and order yours, because these are so extremely popular that you want to make sure you get them before they're all gone and they go on a back order. And I just want to tell you, if they do happen to go on back order, I'm using the, as I'm chit-chatting here, the ivory. This is the ivory. And they are alcohol markers. But if they do go on back order and you are already logged in there with your order, you will be first to have your order filled. And I just want to tell you, I stand behind them 100%. I absolutely love them. So there's ivory for Santa's face. Now these are the cherry cobbler, and the Stampin' Blends come, you can purchase them as single, you can purchase the two together as a bundle, or you can purchase the whole entire kit of them. Along with additional is an ivory, and then there's a flesh tone, a bronze, and all these other stunning colors, 12 different colors in all. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start coloring this. I'm going to go here on the cuffs. I'm just going to color that in with the lightest of the cherry cobblers. But they are such deep pigmented. They are so different than our standard markers. And I'm going to tell you, when you use these, you are going to love them. Okay, so they recommend that you work with it while it's still kind of wet. So I'm going to go back in, just kind of go a little bit over those lines. Kind of give it a little definition. A little bit underneath where I feel as though there would be a little bit of a shadow. Like that. I'm going to go ahead and do this V-neck. And I am going to have an upcoming promotion going on with these blender pens, along with a fun class that you can participate in. If you're interested in joining my club for the markers, please let me know. I can forward to you the information on, oh, I need this for Santa's hat. And you'll be able to build your collection in a way that it's very affordable. So I'm going with the light and I'm coloring in, and it's a little bit hard to show the detail of these markers because this is kind of a small space I'm dealing with. So I like to go with the light, then I go back with the dark and kind of highlight the areas where I think it would be a little bit darker. Then we also have in our markers, this is a color lifter, and what this does is I went a little dark here on my V-neck. It kind of will lift the color a little bit, so you can use that. Where I'm at on time, I'm going to have to hurry up because I'm running out of time. So anyhow, they are going to be well worth the wait, and I know you're going to want to add them to your collection. And you're going to run out of time, and then YouTube does not like it when I run out of time, and they make me cut my videos because new rules of YouTube are 15 minutes, and they'll tell you your video is way too long. So, and I tend to gibber too much, I think, but that's how it goes. That's how I am. Okay, so you can go over that, go over that, go over that, and color that in. I already have one done for you. And here it is. This one I went a little dark on the color, but can you see how stunning that is? I love it. It's so much different to color with those markers than it is our standard markers. Now, our standard markers are great too.